There was something I was missing all this time, and I didn't see it until the Lord showed me this time. He actually showed me what I was missing, because there was something, I always heard it.
Tribal trails, tribal trails. We lead to life.
Hello, welcome to Tribal Trails. Today we're in Winnipeg, Manitoba at the Union Gospel Mission. Today we'll be visiting with Joe. So Joe, first of all, you work here?
I'm actually an intern here.
An intern?
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
I came through the program approximately about 2 years ago. I had a meth addiction. And just what brought me to that was my wife was murdered, and I was destroyed after that. Or at least that's the way I thought I felt.
Yeah.
And I was just lost. And the reason why I used the drugs, I came to the conclusion, is because it worked. It made me escape. I didn't have to deal with this world. And if I died during that, so be it. At least I'm not there. I'm free. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't freedom. It was just making it worse. I've been coming here off and on, trying to. I just didn't know what was wrong with me. I mean, I think half my life is missing because of alcohol and drugs and stuff. I was just not good. I just found out recently that I was in day school and that, and at the time, this stuff was normal to me, I think. At least that's the way I looked at it. I viewed it as normal growing up, the things that happened to me there.
The residential school?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. I didn't realize, I didn't know the impact it had on me till just recent. Like all these things, just my whole world was just crashing down, and then I hear this, and then because I was always wondering what was wrong with me, and I didn't know, and then it stems from that. That actually helped me, but it took my wife passing away to really start changing my life and thinking about what was important, and that it was all a lie. I was believing lies. My life was going down, and then one of the people I know from here, he was like a good man. I don't know how he knew that I was down and out because of my wife, but he somehow knew, and he phoned me and he told me to get myself to come here, come and talk to them. So I came and talked to them, and then I agreed to come back because I was either that or I was just gonna die. At least that's the way I thought I was gonna do. And because I felt worthless. All my life I felt like that, worthless. I told our man there, Mr. Martin there, before I had a scale of how my life was, how I saw myself and other natives. I always thought we were low on the scale because growing up, I heard Jesus and all that, but when I opened the book, the first thing I saw was that he was white. And then I thought, okay, well, if he's white, then the white people are first, and I'm second. I'm below them. That's how I always felt. That was just the way it is, because I was treated like that in school. I was always just hiding the pain, I guess, trying to hide it, but I was making things worse by the alcoholism and drugs and doing all kinds of stuff, bad things. And I don't know, I was destroyed, basically going through life trying to make something of myself, but I wasn't going anywhere because there was something wrong and I didn't deal with it until recently, until my wife passed away, and that really made me start thinking about, to be honest, when she passed and everything, let's just say I was going to go out in a bang. I was like, you know what, I was even mad at God. I was like really mad at God because I said, my life's already bad, and now you just took everything when she went. And I was done living. And that's when they called, like my friend called me from here, and I told him that I was, okay, well, you know what, I came in and I was determined that I was going to change. But all these, because I've been coming here a lot of years, like every 5-10 years or something, I tried, but it didn't work. And I knew the Lord all my life. I was taught because my grandparents were Christians, but my parents, they drank a lot though. And that's the way the world was. My world was, my friends, their parents drank and everything. And they're like, all this evil stuff was going on around us. I didn't know what was right or wrong. So, yeah, it's just been a bad roller coaster ride since I was young. After I came back here, there was something I was missing all this time, and I didn't see it until the Lord showed me this time. He actually showed me what I was missing. Because there was something, I always heard it, but I didn't use it. I didn't, and which was trust. I didn't trust anybody. And I didn't trust the Lord either. That's why he couldn't do what he needed to do inside me. It was like, because there was a lot of times I would be, all right, Lord, thanks, I'm gone. And then I thought that I could do it on my own. But that was just a big lie. Because it always went south. It always got worse than getting better. Never got better. Yeah. So I was always fooling myself, I guess, until these things that happened, and I finally realized that I need to trust him. And yeah, that was like the hardest thing, was trusting him. But I was so broken that it got me to the point I had to try. I needed to trust him. There was something he showed me that I gotta. This is what you gotta do. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So this time I was determined. I said, Lord, I'm done. I have nothing left. I'm gonna trust you with everything I got.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take.
This past 2 years has been like best part of my life. I've been learning to live again. I don't have to go down that road anymore. It was just evil. It was evil. I was becoming something that was bad, really bad, and it just took those things to change. Well, it took that so more, and see, when that happened, my life began to change because I started to trust him, and then he also showed me. He gave me a gift when I was here. It was about 1.5 years ago, maybe a year ago. I was walking to go visit somebody, and all of a sudden it seemed like time stood still for a moment as I was walking. I was taking a step and it just stopped. And then the next thing I know, I saw my wife standing, and I was standing there holding her. But oh my word, it was the feeling I was getting from that was so indescribable. It was good it was so good that I almost couldn't handle it. And I couldn't, because it got to a point where I was looking at her now. I didn't want to let her go. And it just stopped again. And then I was walking again. And I knew right there that she was okay. I can go forward. And I came and told the chaplains here that day, and they were all like, yeah, he gave you a gift to see your wife again. And from that day forward, I was just like, I trust you, Lord. I'm not afraid anymore like I was, because I know where I'm going. And it's going to be with the Lord, and he's the only way that I know now. So I become more of a man of peace. I got an overwhelming peace from him. And he just like, he just, son, just look at what I'm showing you. And I listened to him, I looked, and I saw what he wanted me to see. And he let me know my wife's okay, everything's gonna be okay, as long as you trust me. And so far, and that's what I've been doing ever since. Since I've been here this past 2 years, he's teaching me new ways of living that I didn't have before.
Jesus said to the disciples, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Gagunushkodeag in Dunji,
Where's
which
that?
is Long Plains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I heard some. I don't know what language.
Ojibwe.
Ojibwe?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Ojibwe and Sioux.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom was Sioux. Yeah, that's what my understanding is.
Okay.
But,
So day school was at somewhere over there, I guess.
yeah, Long Plains. It was right on the reserve.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out that it wasn't even a school. I guess it was. They said it was a school, but it wasn't a school. It was actually a church. It was called, I think, Kingdom of Heaven, or Guardians of Heaven, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to know, because I had to do some paperwork for my reserve for that, and they started explaining to me where I was and stuff, and I was like, really? I didn't know this. I thought it was just a school. I didn't know that, but I saw some things in there that were good, and but as I said, that I was second, so that was just normal.
So that's why you grew up in the reserve?
Partly there, and then when I came here, it just was a whole new ball story. Yeah.
Was that during your, I don't know, when you moved here to the city?
Yeah, I really started getting into drugs and everything and stuff like that once I got here. It really got twisted. Yeah.
So is that when you were like a teenager or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had no mentors, no direction. Yeah. So it was just why even try? So I mean, my parents did their best. But even they, I think they were through the system too, so they didn't have any skills either of parenting. So that's why, because I used to blame them for why I am. Yeah. And I realized I can't blame them. They didn't know any better either. Yeah. So forgiving them and asking forgiveness. It's like, I mean, I'm not sure people will forgive me or not, but I ask for it. I hold my hand out. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm with the Lord, and I try to live my life right.
So when did you meet your wife?
17 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and I worked for her uncle for about 11 years. Yeah, but I was just a functioning addict. I would work, but I just didn't live right. Yeah, we got to the point where, like, she had her own. She worked too. She was a functioning addict too. Same thing. But it was, I don't know. We loved each other though. She always made me happy because she had a big heart. She had a heart and people would use that on the street. They would take things from her. Her money, whatever, and she would give it to them. Because I don't know how many times she came home and she didn't have shoes on or a jacket, and she gave it away because someone else needed. But I mean, it's just how big her heart was. She was like, oh my word, and on the street, and everybody loved her. She was the light of my life. I mean, I know we weren't living right, but we were trying. We were trying to quit. Like, yeah, she knew the Lord too. I promised her things, but I mean, I promised her mom the same thing. I said, I'll look after her always before her mom died, but then I felt like I failed because she died, she was murdered, and I couldn't stop it. So that's what destroyed me the most, I think. But the Lord showed me, though, that I could live again.
Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new has come.
So it was just you two?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I have children, like I have 2 other sons, and we have 1 daughter together, me and my wife. She helps me live too, because I know that's part of her mom's right there. Mm-hmm. She brings joy to my life all the time. Yeah. When I speak to her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they bring her to visit me every now and then, and it really lifts me. I thank the Lord every day for all the things that He gives me that are good. Yeah.
So what do you do here?
Just an intern. I guess they call us the bubble guys. Bubble guys, because we watch the building basically. Yeah, we do all the phone calls and stuff like that. Well, when people come here and ask for stuff, we try to give it to them if we can. Yeah, hygiene or whatever they might need. Mm-hmm. And we have a drop-in too in the afternoons, which is good. It gets kind of hectic sometimes because this new drug meth it's been around, but it's really taken off kind of thing here. And we're seeing a lot of people are getting they're more violent. I know it's not them. They're in there, but something else is going on in there, because I went through the same thing, so I understand what they're talking about. Because many times I felt like I was looking through a window, but I wasn't controlling what was going on. It's getting worse than it used to be. That's what I noticed because of that stuff anyway. That's what I see. We got a crisis here. We need to get rid of these drugs somehow, because it's really taking away our kids and everything. I'm almost done, but I still like to try and, if I can help somebody. To make somebody laugh here or smile is something, because most of the time I see them, they're miserable, they're mad, and I just take joy if I can make them laugh or whatever.
Must be a good program here.
It is. You go through the meeting of the head guy, which is Ben. He's the man to speak to first, and then he will tell you about the program, what it consists of, and it goes in 3 phases. There's 3 phases to it. So we start in the first phase, where we do a class in the morning, class in the afternoon. But in between there, we have chores, like you could be doing setup, or washing floors, cleaning the bathrooms, just things like that. That's for the first phase, and the classes are important though. Around 60 days for the first phase, and then you apply for the second phase, which you have to do some Bible verses and stuff like that with your chaplain. And then phase 2, you're allowed to work 2 days a week if you wish. I believe it's 2 days a week, but you still get your classes and your chore and stuff like that for another 60 or 70 days. And then you go for the third phase, which the chaplain usually will ask you if you feel like you want to go or not. And that's for each phase too, I think. But it's just basically trying to get the Bible into you, the first 2 phases, and getting to heal. Just heal. It's about you to take it easy. That's because the chores aren't hard. Like I hear people bellyache about stuff like that, or else they would say, "Oh, he's not doing his chore," and stuff like that, pointing fingers and stuff like that. And I would always, for myself, I would tell people, as an intern now, I would tell them, and this is probably heard many times, why are you here? Are you here for him, or are you here for you? You got to think about that. You shouldn't worry about what he's doing. Just worry about what you're doing. because you're trying to heal. You look after yourself first. That's the first couple phases. What you're trying to do is just to take it easy and get back to slowly healing. Heal through that first. And then the third phase is you get to third phase, you're basically finished. You're done the program, and then you can go on. Or you can, if they ask you, you could be an intern, which is a 1-year thing, which I'm doing right now, and which I get to stay here. I still got to go by the curfew and stuff like that, but it's a job, because I do from Sunday to Thursday, and I do 6 hours on Sunday, which is 8 to 2, and then from Monday to Thursday, I work 11 in the morning till 7 in the evening. That's my shift, and I just work in the bubble, doing stuff around the building or whatever needs to be done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, watching the building and stuff. And yeah, and that's basically what I've been doing ever since.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, God bless you in your journey.
Thank you.
My heart is severely pained within me, and the horrors of death have fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling have come upon me, and the horror has overwhelmed me. David, who wrote this psalm, was in a very overwhelming situation. He was betrayed by his friends and family. He felt totally broken and alone. Sometimes we feel completely broken, absolutely overwhelmed. We are mad at the whole world. We are angry about everything, everyone, even about God. Did you have this kind of feeling? Or maybe you're in this situation right now. This can bring us to a point where we want to forget about life, not wanting to feel anything anymore. Joe was on this road, and he lived in addiction for many years till he realized that he had nothing left. God worked in his life so that he could realize that he needed to trust in Jesus. And Christ changed his life so that he now can even help other men in their journey. David also wrote in his psalm, "As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon, I will pray and cry out loud, and he shall hear my voice. He has redeemed my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many against me." If you realize that you have nothing left in life, be sure that Jesus Christ is there for you. He still cares for you and wants to comfort you and turn your life around. Who knows? Maybe he brought you to this exact point so that you could finally see that there is no other help than Jesus Christ. Don't put it off. Come to Christ and submit your whole life to him, and you will realize that there is peace and joy in this life. If you want to talk to someone, call us. We'd love to hear from you.